Hi and welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to talk about the new micro quads in VelociDrone. So if we go over to single player here, and I've already got them loaded into my setup here. We have 3 currently, but there are at least another 2 on the way already, and there will be more. So the first quad we've got is a Happy Model based quad. It's the Crazy Bee. Has the Crazy Bee board, Happy Model motors, 65mm 1S, 300 mAh pack, 19,000 kV motors on this one. And then we also have the Tiny Hawk from Emax, and this runs 1S or 2S, so you can run 1S 450, which is what it's set to at the moment, or 2S 300 mAh, and I can't remember what motors are on this. They're 0802 15,000 kV I think, or 12,000, I can't remember. And then the BetaFPV 75X, which again is 1S or 2S. This is a 75mm frame, much the same as the Tiny Hawk. 4-bladed props. I can probably see what these are. They're 12,000 kV 0802s on here. And obviously this one is modelled in 2S configuration, but you can run it as a 1S 350 or 2S 350. Okay, so that's the quad, so I'm just going to load up the Crazy Bee. That's what I'm going to be using for demo. So if we select this quad, then there are 3 new scenes that we've got for racing the micros. We've got the house, and these are just some test tracks and things that we're working on. And then we have the library, and again some test tracks and things that we're working on, and the nightclub, and again some more test tracks. So I'm just going to go in and probably fly. I've got a couple of tracks, so I'll probably only fly pylons in the nightclub because that's the only track I've really got in there. But we'll do the library first. So I'm just going to jump in here.
Ready to race.
So we have micro-sized gates that are in the track editor, so you don't have to resize gates, but you can resize gates to be whatever size you want. So you can make any gate that's in VelociDrone micro-sized just by sizing it down, but we also have some specifically sized micro gates as well. We also have these new multicolored neon gates as well, which are part of the new micro gates. So we just run this track quickly. So this is a relatively straightforward, quite fast track, not overly difficult. The gates are a reasonable size, quite an easy track to learn, quite a good one to just kind of get your orientation with on the micro quads.
.76.
Okay, so we'll just stop that there. So I just want to show you what we're doing in Betaflight for micros, because that's also new. So normally in Betaflight you've got your profile 1, 2 and 3, and the way we've set the quads up is that profile 1 is a normal rate profile for acro flying, and in here you'll find that you've got RC rate and super rate set up and your various maximum velocities. Profile 2, however, is set up for angle mode, and this is based on Project Mockingbird and the settings for a Project Mockingbird angle mode, which doesn't use RC rate and super rate, but instead uses strength and limit. So strength is used to set the strength of how strongly it's going to try and achieve the angle that you're putting onto the stick. So how quickly it'll move there, and also how quickly when you come off the stick it will go back to horizontal. So high strength values give you a fast moving to your stick position, but also very fast moving when you come back off the stick to center. And then the limit just defines how much tilt you'll get on the quad, so 70 degrees tilt limit. We also, in the background underneath this, put in a load of the Project Mockingbird parameters for control of the quad as well, like I-term rotation and that kind of stuff, to make them fly exactly the same as Project Mockingbird flies, to give you that really nice smooth flying whoop. So that's the changes in here, and then if we go out of here and go into quad settings, you'll see that you can now turn air mode on and off. So again, for Project Mockingbird they tend to run air mode off but then run a high minimum throttle, which is what we're running here at the moment, 1080 on minimum throttle and air mode false. But you can run air mode if you want to as well. And that's about it for changes in here. There's only one prop obviously, because the micros only come with a very small selection of props. At the moment we only have just the 131mm prop for this size, and on the tiny whoops we have a 41mm prop, I think it is. We have prop profiles of course, like we do for 5-inch. Profile 2 is the one that we normally set it to be as close as possible to a real quad. Profile 1 slightly quicker, Profile 3 slightly slower and softer. The other thing in here is camera mix angle. This is also new. This is the old, in the sim this used to be called camera compensation, and it was a global setting, but now this is per quad. If you set this to 0, then you have no camera mix angle in there, so it will fly just like an ordinary quad would in, for 5-inch and that sort of thing. This would be set to 0. But for Project Mockingbird they tend to recommend that you run a camera mix angle that is approximately half your actual camera angle. So on my quad I'm running 30 degrees camera angle at the moment, so the recommendation is about 17 degrees of camera mix angle for that in Project Mockingbird. So that's what we've got set by default on the small micros. They're all currently set up with camera mix angle already turned on. So the thing to be aware of when you're running the micro quads is that if you are in angle mode, so if you've set angle mode up here, then you really must also set profile 2 up here, so that it's using the Project Mockingbird settings and angle mode all works as you would expect. And if you're flying in acro mode, so if you decide to click up here and go to rate mode, then you want to be on profile 1, where you've actually got some rates so that you can fly. So that is an important distinction, and we're talking about at the moment actually making this automatic on the micros, so that if you do change, for instance, to angle mode, then it'll under the covers automatically switch you to rate profile 2, and if you change back to rate mode, then it'll automatically switch you back to rate profile 1. So that's the other thing that we've changed. Okay, so this is the library, this is one of the scenes, so let's switch through and have a quick look at some of the others. So we've also got the house, so let's just go to the house, and we'll load up Roundhouse for that one.
Ready to race.
So this is just an ordinary, reasonably large, I guess an American style house is probably how I would term it. Very open plan, so you've got lots of room for flying around in here. And we've got the Roundhouse track in here as well, so 2 upstairs bedrooms. These are 2 bedrooms. And then if we again go downstairs, we've got this kitchen, diner, living room sort of open plan area. And then if you go down this hall here, it goes through into another living room, and then off this living room there's a garage. So there's the garage, and then a downstairs bathroom, and then also if I go down here and down here, then we have a basement as well. And then if I go into here, we've also got like a kitchen, laundry room, utility kind of area. So that's the whole house. And then if I just run the Roundhouse track, and you can just take a quick look at that. So again, this is not an overly difficult track. Has all the kind of elements of flying micro quads in that when you drop, they can drop quite quickly, and getting back on the throttle, controlling the throttle is a big part of flying micros. In the background.
31.98.
So that's the roundhouse track and an overview of the house, and then the last room, or the last scene, is the nightclub, and this is the kind of the showcase, I guess, for the micro quads. This is a really big map, a little bit heavier on performance, this one, not too heavy, a little bit heavier. In a big room like this, you may get a little bit slowed down on low spec, but there are other much smaller rooms than this one which have got very nice performance. The whole scene's nicely optimized to separate out the different areas of the club, so that you're only rendering the room that you're actually within. This one's got all the moving lights and the laser doing its thing there. You see the laser. This actually makes it really hard to fly when the laser's going and you're trying to spot gates and where you're supposed to be going. You have like a DJ desk back here, the dance floor, and then there's upstairs areas with various bars and seating areas. Fly around all those. And then you can come downstairs from here, and there are two exits out of here. There's a main exit out there, and then there's like a service exit here which goes somewhere else. So we'll go through the main exit here, which takes you down some stairs into like a red lounge area, and then this takes you up to the reception area. So this is the reception room here. And we come through here and into this yellow corridor. This is where the toilets are. So you have two toilets in here. There's a ladies' toilets, and a bit further down the men's toilets. Again, little seating areas and things around these. And then from here you can go into like the blue bar. So this is like a long bar with seating. So this is the blue bar. See, with cubbyhole seating around it, and then there's like a bar area here, and you can go down those stairs at the back, which I won't do just at the moment. Then if we go upstairs from here, then there's two more rooms up here. There's like a small boss's area, I guess this is where the club owner would hang out for private functions, and it's got an overview of the main club area through one-way glass. And then there's another room down here which is more of a kind of VIP area with a private dance floor. And then if we go downstairs from here, and we go down here, we come into like another large seating area, and then if we head off down here, then there's a whole another kind of much larger dance floor area, not as big as the main club, but again a bigger area with lots of seating, separate dance floor here with the glitter ball. Another kind of little seated area or lounge, and then you can go through here. This is like a kitchen area at the bottom here. Very large empty space for you to kind of do what you want. And then the blue door here goes back up into the blue bar, the long blue bar that we were in, and then this red corridor here goes back up into the main dance floor. We go. So that's all of the nightclub scene, and then we've got a pylons track up the top here, which I'll just quickly run around. These mini pylons for micro quads.
$19.47.
Okay, so that's the main sort of pylons run in the nightclub. Okay, so that's the 3 scenes. A quick look at some tracks that we've already done. Many more tracks already coming. The other thing with the micros is it allows reuse of scenes like Bando, Industrial Wasteland, Coastal, where you can get into areas and put tracks into areas you just couldn't use before with a 5-inch because they're too fast, but for a micro they make perfect new environments. Almost every building in Bando is like a whole new environment for making tracks because the micros are so easy to fly around those small spaces. So that pretty much covers it. That's the Betaflight changes, the Project Mockingbird integration, the 3 quads, how you use the profiles, the rate profiles, angle and rate mode in the sim, and a quick fly through of the 3 new scenes that will be coming as part of it. So that's it. We've got some more work to do, some more micro gates and things like that to add in, and as I say, there's a couple more micro quads coming as well. There's a Mobula 6, I think it is, 65mm 1S. There's the BetaFPV Meteor also coming, and we've also got a newbie drone 1S 65mm quad coming as well. So there are three others on the way that will be part of the micro package, and we'll keep adding them as well as we see suitable stuff to go into the sim. Okay, so that's it, and I'll see you in the next video.